So far, I think we've given up 11 goals in the first 2 games. Let's see if that streak continues again today against a pretty talented Fairfield team.
Fairfield team, high energy under their new coach, Andrew Baxter, off the staff at Yale. Of course, the Bulldogs a couple years back won the national championship. Quick look at your starters in this one. Fairfield going with at attack, Patrick Drake, Dylan Beckwith, Brian Rita. Midfield, Taylor Stroud, Bryce Ford, Travis Ford. Defense, Brian Cosgrove, Lucas Peterson, George Elmquist. And in goal will be James Corasaniti, the sophomore from New York. 13.50 goals against average on the campaign. Georgetown and net, Owen McElroy on the campaign, 549 goals against average. The junior out of Ridgewood, New Jersey. At the attack, it's Clark, Caraway, Watson. Midfield, McDermott, Graham Bundy, the freshman in, along with Massimo Bucci. Then defense, Gibson Smith, James Donaldson, and Stephen McLeod. Hoyas are in the white, Fairfield in all red. It's a great day for lacrosse in our nation's capital, and we're so glad to have you along for this one. Battle of undefeateds, and we are underway on the hilltop. Frankie Labetti with the face-off win for Fairfield, and here come the Stags for the first possession of the game. Here's a shot. It goes wide. May have ricocheted off someone in front. That one taken by Tyler Wukta.
I think maybe Alex Mazoon got a piece of that on the trail check, Jeremy. The ball kind of came out of his stick a little sideways.
Here comes Rita, the attack out of Pleasantville, New York. On campaign, 2 goals for Rita. Main guys for this attack. When you look at Fairfield, Dylan Beckwith leads the way. He's got 9 goals on the season. Taylor Stroud out of the midfield with 7.
Interesting, the freshman Donaldson, too, for us. The freshman that Coach Warren spoke so highly of yesterday, covering Beckwith, who has just been a goal scorer for them over his career.
He said Donaldson was going to get the run against good players. Shot clock down to 33. The Hoyas looking for another 30-second guard here. Here comes Beckwith. Pass in front, gets loose, and McElroy scoops it up. Smith looking for the clear, events to toe taps in front of the sideline and keeps himself in bounds. Now the Hoyas will go to work.
Coach Warren, we said yesterday we might see a little bit more up-tempo from these guys. On that run, though, he came down, dishes the ball off the D-middies, off the field to get his offensive guys on the field.
This is Bundy. The freshman sends it back. McDermott, shot wide of the cage, and it will stay with Georgetown as Caraway closer when it went out of bounds.
Interesting. I want to see the guy Bundy. I want to see him play some today, Jeremy. #1 midfield recruit in the country last year. What a great get for the Hoyas.
Caraway wide, but Clark is there, so it stays with Georgetown. 39 seconds to go on the shot clock. Yeah, really complimentary of Bundy. Has not played yet this year. This is his first action, and that'll be saved in front by Corasaniti. And now,
not sure what the call right there was. I don't know if had an interference call or whatever, but a turnover and ball back to the Hoyas.
And it involved Watson in front, so good for Georgetown, and it resets the shot clock back to 80.
Yeah, once the goalie gets possession there, Jeremy, you can't make contact. You can't keep hitting guys, and I think that's what happened.
So Hoyas, can they take advantage of the break? Corasaniti, nice save in front, and a point-blank chance.
The other day on their comeback win against Merrimack, he was really tough in the fourth quarter. He started out well today. I think he felt that last shot, though, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's interesting. Coach Baxter telling us, look, kind of shaky early in both games so far this year, but really picked it up late in the game and really helped us out. And also his save percentage might not be reflective of how well he's played so far.
They were outplayed for 3.5 quarters against a Merrimack team that was a Division II champion last year, has moved up to D1. But, when the game was on the line, when it mattered, they were tough.
There's a shot save as McElroy gets another one. And here come the Hoyas looking for the icebreaker. Again, these teams have played some high-scoring games, at least offensively, early on in the season. They're not used to not scoring this quickly.
Yeah, Will Godin, seeing time, is probably their #1 D midi right now. Great job of clearing the ball. We're going to see a lot. We're going to see a lot of Will this year.
Yeah, Godin, just a freshman out of Owings Mills, Maryland. Good mix for the Hoyas of some local standouts, but also national, even out of some non-lacrosse hotbeds, or at least growing lacrosse hotbeds. Bundy sends it back to the top. McDermott shot and a goal. Declan McDermott, the sophomore from Pleasantville, New York, with a pleasant start for the Hoyas. They lead 1-0.
Good one, Jeremy. Yeah, he looked across, looked to the opposite side of the field. Little up and over pass, and Dylan drives that left alley, puts that ball by the goalie for the first score of the game for the Hoyas.
And McDermott last year had 11 goals as a freshman, but had an important one, the game winner against Providence in the Big East semifinals. So again, he's one of these young Turks, if you will, looking for more and more run, and again shows early here with the first goal of the season at home for the Hoyas. And you know, as an old, long-time, storied high school coach, nothing can breed good play more than competition.
That's exactly right.
Long pole, and it'll be a long pole goal, comes from his own.
Last year, close defense. Alex Mazzone started as a freshman. This year, maybe with the advent of Donaldson on campus, it's allowing them to use Alex Mazzone on the wing. He's a big body, Jeremy, and he can run. That was a great shot.
Mazzone giving the Hoyas a 2-0 lead, and of course the funny part about Alex Mazzone, he's from the alma mater of Kevin Warren.
That's right.
So of course, I'm sure there's a little bit of maybe shared thinking there. Who knows? Mazzone's a guy that I know Coach Warren told us last year he was the kid who would text him on Saturday night after games about stuff that happened, and Coach is like, hey man, you're a college freshman, you need to go do something with your life. This can wait till Sunday or Monday. But nothing can top that dedication to the game, of course.
No. That's his. I think that's the second goal of the year too. I think he scored. I think he might have scored against UMBC or in one of our first two games. I think he has one already. So 2 in the season. Gotta like that.
So Fairfield looking for the answer. Nothing there, as that was Arnowitz. Now Beckwith takes the shot and over top of the cage, but Fairfield in position, they'll keep it.
Beckwith really likes that drive from X, Jeremy. He likes that drive. He always come around, gets his hands free, and he will shoot it. He had a great goal the other day against Merrimack on that very similar type play. Drive from X, gets his hands free, and lets it rip.
Arnowitz. Nothing there. Pass knocked away by Thompson, by Godine, but comes back. Chance here, and that will be a goal. It's good as spent back of the net. Trent Moran, the freshman from Charlottesville.
Yeah, there's the new rule we're talking about. You and I talked with our officials, Michael Kleeblatt, before the game about, the new rule in college lacrosse with that little cone that's inside the crease. That time he dove away from the goalie, scored, landed in the crease, but that's a good goal. That's a good example of the new rule that goal is allowed. But it's been a little confusing so far to go. There's a lot of people that don't like the dive, but it's here to stay, I think.
And I think that's what you wanted to do, was you wanted to take the excitement of the dive, but keep the safety aspect away. So as long as and as I get it, obviously you're a little more in depth, but it's more about, as we have a stalemate here, this will go to Georgetown. Will you have a spot where you're just trying to say, look, dive away from the goaltender.
Exactly.
Diving away, you're okay. If you dive towards, probably going to get no goal.
Nice look.
Chance by the wayside. They'll say Clark in the crease, and that'll be a turnover by the Hoyas.
And just to add to that point too, Jeremy, if contact is made with the goalie, as Michael was sharing with us, it can be anywhere from a 1 to a 3 minute non-releasable penalty if you do hit the goalie. So they're looking out for the keeper to try to protect him.
Stroud almost turned that one over, but stuck the one arm out and able to keep possession. Now Fairfield looking for the tie. Stags wins on the season against Stony Brook 18-16. They got down early in that one, rallied back. Then against Merrimack, won 14-11, actually took the lead and then had to end up scoring 5 straight to end the game to win it after blowing the advantage.
Yeah, I think they were down 5-0 too. It was a shocking beginning to that game.
Pass in front. It'll be taken away by the Hoyas. Nice defensive play by Godine. Elders coming through, looking for a friendly triple team. It's knocked up in the air. Batted across. Bucci trying to get it. Still loose. Who'll come up with it? Eventually it's Fairfield and Ford.
Oh, that was just a mess right there for a minute, Jeremy. That ball right in front of the box. Nobody could come up with it.
Beckwith. Shot wide of the cage. It stays with Fairfield. Drake on the backup.
Crafty shot by Beckwith right there. Uses defenseman as kind of a screen. Goldie didn't really get a look at that shot. Luckily, it was off cage.
Drake, a lot of contact. Geddes keeping him off his spot. Pass in front. Dunk attempt. No good. Hoyas trying to track it down, and they will. And that'll be a turnover as Godine gets run out of play. Hoyas with back-to-back mistakes on the clear, giving Fairfield a chance to get back into this one. Ford, pass in front, shot and a goal. Open look, and Rita puts it away.
Yeah, good little drive right there. He drew the upfield. The thing you don't want to do as a defenseman is kind of slide upfield, Jeremy, and that's exactly what happened there. We got caught sliding upfield. Easy goal for number 30, Retta. He's a heck of a player. He had a heck of a game the other day, too. Just a sophomore. We were mentioning that talking with Coach Baxter yesterday, there's 24 sophomores and freshmen on this team, and none that he recruited personally, but what he expressed to us yesterday in our conference call, that he really likes that class. He likes this freshman and sophomore class and thinks that they have a good future with this program.
Yeah, really happy with what he's inherited, and also trying to bring that ethic with Yale. Again, he just talked about energy and those type of things, and again, the Yale influence maybe more with he said, I'm basically taking practice plans or carbon copies of what we did at Yale, but obviously that worked for the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Those are the type of things you may want to take, and I think he also realized that there were tweaks that he had to do because of the players he inherited.
Yeah, and when you come in, Jeremy, it's hard. I had this happen to me once in my career. I came into a program that has replaced a storied coach, and you've got to get the guys to buy in right away. And you can't come in like sometimes with a hammer, and drop it and just say, here's the rules. There's a new sheriff in town. You got to kind of, and that's really what he kind of told us, that he's kind of almost soft-touched this a little bit with these new guys. But I think the reaction that he's getting from his players is they've bought in. They understand that Andrew Baxter came from a great program as Yale, 7 years there, I think, as the assistant, and this guy knows what he's talking about. And like I said, they've bought in to Coach Baxter, and that's going to only lead to good things down the road for this program.
Yeah, I always say there's nothing worse than the old Bear Bryant Junction Boys mentality of, hey, let's run some guys off. And it's like, look, give everybody a fair shake.
Right.
You get more buy-in from the entire team, and then maybe you can kind of weed it out as you go.
But you also, as seniors, too, that you have to say, hey,
Sure.
we're going to do this. Because you have a lot of, like I said, 24 freshmen and sophomores on this program. You don't want them to start off on the wrong foot.
So Riley at the face-off dot. And Lebetti with another win, but can't control it. Loose ball, stick check, and eventually Fairfield comes up with it. Check up high, that'll be on Geddes. So a flag will come, and looks like Fairfield's going to go on the man up.
Yeah, that stick just rode up. At first, I didn't think they were going to call it. The far side ref didn't call it. The guy on this side maybe had a better look. The stick kind of rode up. It started in a good place, Jeremy, but it kind of rode up into the neck and head area. So cross-check 1 minute. Okay. Releasable, though, so.
So Hoyas,
Number 13,
as Geddes picks up the foul. So it'll be 1 minute down as the Hoyas will go with the man-down unit.
Riley started off the season, the face-off, with 72%. So I really thought coming into today's game that was going to be a big factor. But so far, their guy is hanging in there, doing a good job. He's drawing the ball backwards right now. But so far he's doing a good job against Riley.
So Fairfield looking for their first lead of the game after the Hoyas took a 2-0 advantage. Couple of turnovers on the ride, key in getting Fairfield back on their feet. Pass in front, shot, and a save by McElroy off the stick of Stroud.
Yeah, pretty easy save right there, right to his stick side. Probably not the best shot that they wanted there.
Thrown away to get another turnover on the clear. Something you cannot do if you're the Hoyas. I believe that's 3 straight possessions, Earl.
Yeah, the ball's been on this side of the field way too much for Coach Warren's liking, I'm sure. Still time on that penalty.
Pass in front, Stroud scores. Gave him the open look, and he did not miss. Stroud puts the Stags up 3-2.
Almost an identical look of that last shot, though, but he was a little bit closer in, unobstructed, nobody on him that time. 1-5 hole, I believe.
Beating McElroy, who again back as the starter for Georgetown after losing the job to Chris Brandow, who left the program, ended up at Maryland, who started the Big East Championship game against Denver and then the NCAA tournament game against Yale. But talking to Coach Warren, said that McElroy came out ready to go and kind of went out and won the job, and now another face-off win by Lebetti, this time against Carson Milburn, the freshman. So Hoyas trying to shake it up, not really working, but maybe a chance for turnover here. They get it. Caraway up to Clark.
Scott Watson.
Shot, bouncer goes in. Robert Clark ties it up for the Hoyas. We're back to level.
Yeah, Clark there had Watson to his right, could have gone to him, but nobody on him, gets the shot from about 5 yards in to finish.
Now I feel like that was a big momentum swing there, Earl.
Yeah.
Fairfield keeps winning the faceoffs. Hoyas had to find a way to twitch it around.
A good faceoff guy, Jeremy, is going to figure out what's going on here. Kind of the new rule, one of the emphasis is if you go down and clamp that and you're not making a play on that ball, if you're just withholding it, they're going to blow the whistle. That's happened once already today. So they've both been kind of locked up so far, but let's see if Riley changes what he's doing right now.
Violation by Lebetti, so here come the Hoyas with a chance, and Riley will bring it back and let the Hoyas get their 6 on the field. Colin Monroe, number 41, now with it, the transfer from North Carolina.
Coach Warren had some nice things to say about Colin yesterday. Didn't get much playing time the last 2 seasons at North Carolina, but he thinks he can really help the Hoyas this season, Jeremy.
Caraway, point blank, scores and puts the Hoyas back on top.
Jake's game has evolved so much over the last couple years. His first 2 seasons, he was really just a step-down shooter, and he was almost, if you want to say, the caddy for Baccaro. You know, he would draw the second defenseman. Baccaro would look for him sometimes when he drew the double. But Jake's become a much better downhill dodger from the wings especially. Still a great shooter, and I will tell you, he's one of the top shooters in the NCAA, in Division I lacrosse. But he's really developed a dodging game now, and that makes him an even more dangerous player.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, Kevin Warren told us as Lebetti trying to win another face-off, still loose. They'll come up with it, but said that Caraway has the fast break here. They'll get it to Beckwith. Hoyas get back on defense. Chance here, and he can't get out of the stick as Drake had a shot to put one away. Couldn't do it.
Oh, wow. That guy's going to think about that one all night, Jeremy. Ball right in the stick. All he had to do was throw it in.
And the Hoyas will come out with it as Mazzone will take it down and get the clear. Now look for a friendly.
I'm really impressed with Mazzone so far at long stick midi, Jeremy. He's a big body. He runs like a deer. He really does. He's quick. That's just a big plus for the Hoyas to have that luxury to have a guy that talented at long stick.
Shot. This will bounce by, but ends up behind the cage as Caraway was there. He'll keep the pressure on. Caraway gets hooked there for a second, gets rid of it. Hoyas will keep it moving. Good look here. It'll hit in front. It'll stay with the Hoyas on the backup.
Not sure how Jake got out of that mess. He was surrounded by 3 guys and still managed to get out of there.
That's the thing he said, though, with Caraway, is that he's been able to really slide into the Baccaro role as kind of the alpha, and everyone can kind of take their cues from there. You know, it almost seems like to me the old basketball reference as, you know, when Chris Webber left Michigan in the Fab Five, well, he still had Jalen Rose and Juwan Howard. They didn't drop off all that much.
All right.
It was nice to have that group left. That's kind of what Caraway is, ease the pain of losing Baccaro, because he's almost as good, if not as good.
Yeah, say, don't get us wrong. We're not downgrading this team at all. This team has still got a lot of talented players.
Down to 20 on the shot clock. Oh, it's got to go. Caraway shoots, blocked in front, chase for the ball, and they'll stay with Georgetown. Fairfield doesn't like it, also resets the shot clock as that went off of Corasaniti.
I thought it was a push, so, you know, I thought the Georgetown guy played well, slowed down, and got pushed from behind. It's a tough call for the officials, but they looked at each other, they got help, and they said Georgetown ball.
I'm going to say that previous shot was tipped, so that resets again. It was really about a 4-second difference now. This is Monroe.
And move and pick. Playing the 2-man game there a little bit. You know, you got to hold on.
Ford avoids a big check there from Watson. Coming off the field. Fairfield looking for the equalizer. This is Patrick Drake, sophomore at Wilmington, Delaware. Had 20 goals, 21 to be exact, last year. So he's a capable scorer on that top line. Travis Ford, not related to the Ford twins, Dean and Bryce, wear numbers 19 and 20 respectively.
I guess that's good for mom and dad, isn't it, at the game, you know? I had the pleasure of having twins before, Jeremy. Sometimes if they're identical, it's just so hard, you know? The only time you know who they are is when they have their numbers on.
Shot by Drake, knocked aside by McElroy. Hoya has come up with it. Dangerous pass by Smith. Back to Owen, but he's able to corral it. Geddes will take it across. Hoya's on the move. Lacalzi, will he take the shot? He will not. Throttles it down and gets it back towards midfield and Bucci.
Wow, very tempting right there by Joe. I think that would have been me. I would have ripped that one, Jeremy. He was in about 12 yards. Nobody really on him, but good decision by him. Pulls it out. Lets the Hoyas set up their offense, get their offensive middies in the game.
And can't get it in. Loose ball on the check. Geddes trying to get it back. They'll call the push, so it goes back to the Hoyas. A little overzealous, I think, by Fairfield there, you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Because they might have got that on their own.
Yeah, I think so. It was just a 2-on-2 matchup right there. You didn't have to push. Just battle for the GB.
Pass in front, and it'll be knocked away. Ball still loose, though. And withholding as one of the defenders ended up on the ball.
Not making our Fairfield fans that are really in front of our booth very happy on that call. I do think there was a push on Georgetown, but
McDermott has one already. He'll take a shot here off the mark, but Clark's there to gobble up the rebound. Shot here, that's wide of the cage. Bucci, the closest, so it stays with the Hoyas. 72 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Great offense right now by the Hoyas.
Bundy with it. Bundy, wide of the cage, but again, Caraway's there. And of course, Aniti keeps making that break, but doesn't realize Caraway's just standing there the whole time.
Great
Pass
luck.
in front. Bucci couldn't corral it in time to make a shot.
Thought he might go behind the back right there, but he was really past the cage.
Clark doesn't find anything he likes, so back out to Caraway, then throws the crossfield to McDermott. And go to work on Ford. Nothing there. lot of time on the shot clock. Under a minute to go in the quarter. Hits a man in front. Bucci takes a whack at it. Watson tries to keep it going. They'll say a hold again on Fairfield.
I got to agree with that one. I know the fans didn't like it, but that was a good call. Ball was on the ground. Their man was just laying on the top of the Hoya.
Let's see what the Hoyas do here. 30 seconds to go in the quarter.
Got a fresh shot clock. Just take it to the end right now.
Here's Bundy. Pass in front, and it will be a goal. As they find Watson on the doorstep, and he puts it home.
Great look. Dylan just slid down. His defenseman slid across the crease to the ball, leaving him wide open on the backside.
Now a 2-goal lead. 17.6 seconds left to go.
Tell you what, Jeremy, there's not too many open seats today. I'm looking down the Georgetown side here. We are full.
Yeah, Fairfield has traveled well. Hoyas as well. Good Hoya team, ranked in the top 15 of the nation. Labetti, he's a shooter. He'll take it. Gets checked from behind. Good play by Mazzone. It stays with the Stags with under 10 seconds to go.
I was going to say they're going to give the ball to Beckwith here. See if they just clear out for him and let him go.
Beckwith looking for the late goal. In front and scores. Beckwith put the hands up. He gets the adulation from the Stag fans with that late goal there.
It's got a question mark move, Jeremy. They know that he's a basic lefty. He came strong right-handed, dropped his hips, rolled back to his left-hand side, scored on the opposite play. A heck of a play.
So 5 seconds to go. Really be testing it here. Got to win the face-off clean if you want any chance at a score here. And pulled out. Labetti can't get a shot off, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. It's been a good one here in D.C. Georgetown with the 5-4 lead, but again, we've seen both sides of the coin here. I think the Hoyas could have been a little bit cleaner. I think Fairfield showed a lot of good energy in this opening half, especially have done well at the dot.
That's just what I was going to say, Jeremy. They're playing with a lot of energy. They're psyched on their sideline. They're excited to be here. And I tell you, you've got to pay attention to Beck.
Getting some chances out there as Riley's struggled a little bit. You see a new face out there on the face-off for Fairfield as well. Jake Timon, the long stick midi, but the Hoyas with the win. You a little surprised they went away from Labetti there?
It's start of a quarter. Give a guy a chance. You want to save him for the fourth quarter when face-offs could be really important. I mean, they're always important, but even much so if you're trying to make a run.
Shot there and ends up in the back of the net. Dylan Watson with his second.
Just gave him a little space, Jeremy. Too much space. The step-down shot, he's there at 12 yards.
And back to the face-offs, Earl. I understand your point, but to me, I almost think to myself, if you're Fairfield, this game is all about keeping it close in the fourth quarter because Georgetown, you got nothing to lose here. People expect you to be, when we looked, they were picked last in the CAA poll.
Sure.
Georgetown has those big goals. It seems to me like you keep winning, keep throwing it at them.
Yeah, you get stuck on the field sometimes. They may be playing defense or something. It's a long game. He's back there again. The Hoyas, though, again, going with Milburn.
Hoyas, maybe looking for the changeup.
Looks like Milburn wins again. Now they're going to call him for holding it. Okay. See, that's the case, Jeremy, where he kind of was withholding the ball a little bit. Once you get a clamp like that, they want you to make a play on it. They want you to pull it out to space.
Sure. Georgetown with a 2-goal lead, but Fairfield able to match up the Hoyas. They got down 2-0, but then came back and ripped off 3 straight goals for the Hoyas and went back and forth and took the 2-goal lead back. Travis Ford.
He's a pretty big guy, isn't he, Jeremy?
Yeah, good size on him. Ford listed at 6'2", 225.
He looks every bit of that. Yeah, he's a big guy.
Forward, wide of the cage. Flag comes out. It'll be against the Hoyas. And that'll blow it dead with Smith on the interception off the Bryce Ford shot.
It's like we have a push, little 30-second push right there. It kind of helped though, the Hoyas, that he pushed him. He took his angle away from the shot.
So Lindsay and Lacalzi will come on for the man down unit. They'll be out there along with McLeod and Smith and Mazzone. Ford down to Beckwith. Ford gets it back. Nothing there as Rita will give himself some space. 10 seconds left on the penalty. Beckwith keeps it moving. Gets it back. In front. Chance. That goes off the pipe and taken by Gibson Smith. And penalty is released, so Hoya is back to full strength. McElroy. Got to get himself back. Going to be a chance here. Scooped up by Caraway was out there. Now a turnover, but at least the Hoyas get a chance to get back on sides. Chance shot. That's saved by McElroy. Long outlet pass. Finds Mazzone. Here come the Hoyas.
Great outlet pass by McElroy right there. You know, what you want to do, Jeremy, on that is look to where the shooter shot from, and that's exactly what happened. Shooter took that shot. Owen's eyes were directly looking for Mazzone on that breakout. Hit him with a great pass, too.
Almost the same concept of if you go where the blitzer came from, there should be an opening.
Should be an opening, and there was, too. Goalies are taught that from a very young age. Look to where the shot came from.
So Georgetown with a 2-goal lead with possession. Monroe. Now Caraway. He's got the one so far today. Obviously all over him. Bucci takes the shot. Ricochets off in front. Stays with the Hoyas. 32 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, Caraway's going to be good to start looking away sometimes, Jeremy, because he's drawing a really quick double from the man that's up top. They're sliding down to Jake very quickly. Not this time, though.
Caraway loses control of it. Cosgrove on the cover. Hoyas get it back. Down to 15 seconds on the shot clock. Bucci has it. Got to go. Bucci loses control. Loose ball. Still there. And probably going to be a shot clock violation now, and it'll be turned over to Fairfield.
Yeah, the shot clock never reset because Staggs never came up with a ground ball. So
Fairfield crowd comes to its feet. Salute its defense. Now Beckwith and company going to try and cut that deficit down to 1. Shot. McElroy save in front. Pass out. Here come the Hoyas. Elders pushing the pace. He'll throttle it down. Hoyas will get the subs in. Flag is down.
yeah, they got their offsides. Fairfield's offsides. One of the attackmen went across. So 7 men right now on the.
The Hoyas will take their time as ball's coming back to them as they try to score against a larger defense.
Yeah, if you're the Hoyas here, you want to be patient. You don't take the first shot, take the best shot here. Work it around. Maybe even draw a second penalty.
Caraway. Little screen from Bundy. Now Bundy gets it back.
I think Beckwith's the guy that got caught offsides here. I see 22. He's usually not on this end of the field.
Shot way over the cage, and Bundy kind of taps himself in the chest, thinks saying, my fault, not the shot they wanted, but not the biggest deal because of the penalty.
Sometimes what freshmen do, Jeremy, right? He's a little over anxious today. It's his first action, right? It's his first action of the year, and not the worst shot in the world, but again, you want to be patient on that.
30 seconds.
And we did ask Coach Warren about Bundy, and talked about obviously the athleticism. Said he's got confidence, and he said not cockiness. He's confident, which is
There's a
big
difference.
difference.
Sure, there is. Yeah. Like you're confident, Jeremy, so.
And you're cocky.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
I am, yeah. Got to do that when you're 5'7".
Here's a shot, open space, and off cage was McDermott.
Tell you, that didn't miss by much. That was a great overhand bounce shot to the right pipe. Just missed.
And lane opened up. It was perfect view from our vantage point in the booth.
Here's the goal.
Chance here. It'll be saved. So Corsoniti, loose ball. And that'll be against Fairfield. So boys get the call and a chance and a fresh 80.
Yeah, it's the second time they've done that today. The goalie has, once that goalie has the ball clamped like that, stop, making contact with the other team.
Clark at the point. Out of Caraway at GLE. He'll come back up. Pass in front and scores. What a look by Caraway, and the put away by Watson, his third of the day.
Yeah, they've got some kind of building a great connection between those two. He looks cross crease. Wasn't a great pass. It's pretty high. Dylan was able to handle that, put it in the back of the net.
And that was one of the praises from Coach Warren about Watson, is that he's a great target, gives a good look, great finisher, and I think he inferred a little bit the box background up in Canada.
Yeah. I mean, those guys play in small spaces. They learn to protect their sticks. It's a great grooming tool for the field game. Clean win.
Always trying to add on. Again, the freshman coming up big, Milburn. As face-offs were dominated in the first period by Lebetti and Fairfield. Now the Hoyas evening this one up.
Yeah, the Milburn's going to come over and talk to Riley and say, what did he do? What's he doing against you?
Thompson gives it off to Caraway. In front. Goes behind the back, ends up over top of the goal, almost got it.
Oh, that was a beautiful look right there. Overhand behind the back bounce shot, almost found that top corner.
And again, we've seen it on teams against the Hoyas in the past. They didn't have as much of the Canadian influence. Now they've added a few of those guys from north of the border. May see a little more of that.
Tell you, it makes the game fun.
Turnover by Georgetown with a 3-goal lead. Fairfield could use one right here. They were picked to be 6th place in the CAA this year.
I'm not sure if I'd agree with that right now from seeing them their first 2 games. They have some talent on this team. They play with such enthusiasm.
That's so important. And they'll have a chance to test themselves later in the season, as will the Hoyas.
They're dragging their short stick middies behind. They've done this a couple times in the last possessions, trying to find that short stick matchup.
Even there as Moran slipped down, trying to get by Geddes. Shot and a score, and that one maybe a little easy as Ford finds the back of the net with no real screen in front.
Godin had him covered. He pushed him down the alley, just got his hands free, and perfect placement off the hip on that shot.
So Ford with the big goal, and Ford's an interesting story as he was the CAA All-Rookie team as a freshman, and last year had 22 goals, so not a bad season, but he was actually a inside lacrosse top 50 young gun coming into his tenure at Fairfield. So a talented player, hoping to live up to his rankings.
Yeah.
Win by Fairfield as Timon comes away with it. Timon, a transfer from Mercyhurst, D2 school. Thrown away on the pass. Can the Hoyas get there? They cannot. Coming out of the box and saving that one was Strow. And now loose ball. Hoyas pounce. Smith comes up with an outlet pass. Here comes Caraway.
That was a great check by Gibson Smith right there to get that free. Watch out.
Caraway looking for the pass to Clark. A little off the mark. Goalie out of the cage. Does not hurt Corsoniti and Fairfield, and now Stags will take the timeout.
Timeout, Fairfield.
Pretty good time for a timeout, Jeremy. Things are going helter-skelter right there, up and down. Let them set up. They scored the last goal of the game right now. Let them set up, get their offensive players in. Give your goalie a chance to catch his breath, too.
Yeah, of course, at 80, coming out hard. And, again, in his freshman year was a two-time CAA Rookie of the Week. So he's got some talent. He's done some good things, and they're hoping he can kind of continue that this year. It'll be important. Again, we talked about it, the energy level of this Fairfield squad. And, again, they're a team that – and the other thing with these guys, which Coach Baxter's done a pretty good job of, is he said, look, we've tried to keep this simple. We've tried to, have our main defense, main offense, couple tweaks. And he even said when we pressed him about it, I think that because of that, we've been better as a comeback team because we're just kind of playing lacrosse. We're not having to think about a million things.
Yeah. When you get to this level, Jeremy, you can have a set offense, but a lot of the things that you're doing are just principles. They're not plays.
Yep.
They're just knowing what to do when the ball's in certain places on the field. He does say they like to play like an up-tempo, and you can tell that right now. They're fast. They have some very fast guys on their team. They've been pushing tempo. And, when you come in, you have a new offensive coordinator. These guys that are seniors have been playing a system for 3 years. Now something totally new comes in. But you know what? It's still lacrosse. You're still going to do the same thing. Driving the alley, it's not there. You bang at the X. The X guy pushes the other side of the field. All these things these kids have been doing since they were playing, youth balls, 12 years old. So it still comes down to lacrosse. But I like what he was saying to us yesterday. It's about just keeping things simple. Don't making it harder than it is. This really is a simple game. I see that sometimes with some coaches that want to have a 30-page offensive playbook. You don't need it. You really don't. Teach your kids basic principles and let them play the game. It's not a scripted game. It really isn't.
It's jazz.
Yeah, that's right.
Just under 7 to go. Beckwith will bring it back in against Donaldson, the freshman out of Franklin, Michigan. Excuse me. He'll get it off the pass from Bryce Ford. Beckwith with it. Passes in front. Looking for the shot, and maybe a wait too long as McElroy was there, but it was Travis Ford not squeezing it off maybe as fast as he should have.
Yeah, Owen just matched stick for stick right there too, Jeremy. Just perfect goalie play by Owen. There was a great look.
Finds Clark, gets it ahead. Bucci, tic-tac-toe. Score by Dylan Watson, his 4th of the game.
Smart play right away by Jake. He had a man on him, though. He realized that he had a man lower that was wide open. And you're right, exactly. Perfect tic-tac-toe right there for the easy goal.
Bucci with the final assist. But again, the Hoyas looking good there. It was, I think the other key play there was Clark at the top getting that contested ball.
Yeah, definitely. And you and I have been fans of the Bucci family for years, haven't we? We love Joe as a player. Massimo just continuing with that great tradition. And we just like saying Massimo.
A couple of those lean seasons there for the Hoyas.
Yeah.
Bucci would keep those guys in games where
really
a lot of those losses were 1 or 2 goal losses because Bucci was racking up 6-7 goals in a game.
He was just a great player and a great leader for this team that's now turned the corner to being a top 20 team every year.
Brother Massimo, a little different, but again, a solid player who's come on. After a little bit of struggle his freshman year, he's been very good as a key piece.
Yeah, he's a grinder. He really is.
There's Caraway. Comes in, shoots. It's loose, and he gets laid out. And they'll say it stays with Georgetown. Caraway looks no worse for wear. That's good, and shot clock resets.
That was close to a really high hit right there. I'm surprised there was no call, but
referees deemed it clean. Caraway looking for the shot, and he finds it top shelf.
You know what Jake has done? He spent time in the weight room because he is strong.
Georgetown goal by number 19.
Well, they have a beautiful one in the Thompson Center, so I'm glad he's using it.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, again, those are plays that
He would have been pushed off the ball a couple years ago. He really would have. But he dropped his hips. He got into the man. Fairfield's calling for a ward right there. It was an award. He's got two hands on the stick, and he's leaning into the guy, just trying to gain ground, and finally turns and puts it in the top right corner. It's an unstoppable shot.
And you say he would have got pushed off. He wouldn't even have tried that a couple years
No,
back.
he wouldn't have.
So Hoya is now extending the lead out to 4. And coming away with it is the freshman Milburn.
You know, didn't this happen with Riley last year? We had, an upperclassman facing off, and Riley comes in, and all of a sudden he's the man. And boy, Milburn right now is just dominating at the dot.
I tell you, I like to mix metaphors with sports. Your face-off group almost is like a bullpen, it seems like.
Yeah.
Where sometimes the different looks will do different things.
Yeah. And different pitchers are better against different hitters and things like that. And it's the same with face-offs. Nice look.
And good save by Coruscant Edie. And eventually scooped up by number 13. Outlet pass.
Peter Thompson got jacked right there too, Jeremy. I hope he's okay.
Chance here on the fast break. Shot and a score. So Fairfield answers right back. The transition game works. That one put away by Cole Barnard.
It's a good look, good heads-up play right there. He's wide open on the doorstep. That's an easy goal for Fairfield.
A big play for the Stags as momentum had swapped all the way back over to Georgetown. They cut the deficit down to 3. Betty credited on the assist.
Let's see if Milburn tries to go out front. Yep. That was a push. The reason he went out front right there too, Jeremy, the two wings on Fairfield were both low. They were both low to this side. There was nobody to defend that. So he was able to push that ball out in front and get the easy face. The Fairfield guy might have pushed him on purpose because he had a fast break possibility right there if he comes up with that ground ball.
So Georgetown. Bundy got momentum, takes the shot over top of the cage, stays with the Hoyas, still 53 to go on the shot clock.
He doesn't look like a freshman, does he? He's a strong-looking athlete. That's what Coach mentioned to us before the game, a very athletic kid.
Bucci. Bundy goes low and puts it in the back of the net. First goal in the career of Dylan Bundy here at Georgetown.
Georgetown goal by number 9, Graham Bundy Jr.
You know what? They played a little two-man game right there, Jeremy and Massimo. That slide came. The double team came right there. Massimo knew where to look back to. Smart play. Goes to Bundy for his first goal. Let's see if they give him the silent treatment on the sideline. No, they're
Taking the base off for Georgetown number 2.
sometimes they'll do that. The first guy's goal like that. They won't say anything, but boy is all over him right there as he comes off the field.
Bundy, again, a guy they are, I think, once they get him acclimated completely, counting on as he's part of the United States under-19 team. So he is a player.
Milburn with another win. Fairfield might have to think here, Jeremy, of going to their backup face-off guy as well.
Thrown away, and nice little crafty play coming out of the box and getting in the way by Adam Reistis. That's that one little wrinkle with lacrosse where that box can really kind of play a little bit of havoc.
Yeah, and the timing was perfect, as you said, Jeremy. He was right there as that pass was coming, able to check Bucci's stick. He wasn't able to pull it in.
Reistis, graduate student. That gets wide and ends up into the stick of Brian Arita, who puts it away. So Fairfield with a nice answer.
Better to be lucky than good sometime, huh, Jeremy? That ball was intended for one of the guys on the crease. Got deflected for the wide open goal right there on the wing.
So Fairfield, again, every time Georgetown looks like they might be pulling this one away, the Stags find a goal. Still a lot of time left to go in this game here just in the second quarter. We could see a few more goals here. Labetti back against Milburn, the freshman from Lakewood Ranch, Colorado. Before this game, and seen just 3 face-offs and won 2 of them. And he'll look to run to safety, tries to shovel it to Caraway, and gets loose. So again, the Hoyas can't handle it.
They jumped him right there, Jeremy. He was pressured by the long stick right there. He tried to throw a little sidearm pass to Jake, but just got away from him a little bit. But again, Milburn dominated that face-off again.
And this one thrown right back to the Hoyas. Picked up on the fly and almost had the trail check turnover, but instead, Hoyas end up with it. As this is Godin. Finds Caraway. Now Hoyas will set up and go to work.
Great job by Will on the clear right there. Ran through 2 sticks. Gets the ball safely to Jake Caraway.
Bucci. John Wheat all over him. Bundy. Trying to shake himself free. And another turnover on the Hoyas. I think Georgetown might be trying to do a little too much.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Jeremy, I think they rushed that possession a little bit. Their offensive players had just gotten on the field. It's like you want to settle that down, bang it around, let everybody touch it, then go to work.
So 2 minutes to go. Fairfield down by 3 goals. Well, his biggest lead has been 4. Drake thought he might try and turn around there and beat McElroy, did not. Gets it over to Beckwith.
And so far, the freshman Donaldson has done a very good job on Beckwith. This is his move right here.
Shot saved by McElroy. And the goalie will pick it up and outlet it as Geddes will look to run it over. That speed by Geddes, really big part of the clear game for the Hoyas.
You know, we've been fortunate to watch some of these great long stick middies we've had here over the years, too. Carpenter, Aslanian. Geddes is right in that same mold. He's a big, tough kid. He runs well. Oh, wow.
Thompson will bring it back. Thought he might take the lane.
Yeah, he really had his man beat right there.
Caraway shoots. And they'll say he's in the crease. Turned back over to Fairfield. So the Stags will have a minute to go. And a chance to tie this game up where the Hoyas really could have run that down to about maybe 20 seconds on the shot clock if they'd been careful.
I'm not sure if Coach Phipps and those guys on the sideline, the assistants right there, are happy with that possession right there. They kind of put their hands on their heads right there after that shot.
Almost thrown away. Nice dig there by Freet, but turnover back to the Hoyas.
Might be a good idea if Coach Warren gets this cleared. Maybe we'll see him with a timeout here.
So Bucci in. He has it out there with McDermott. Thompson. Watson. Caraway and Clark. That's your 6. Bucci off to Caraway. Chance for Watson over top of the cage. It'll stay with the Hoyas. 11.7 to go, and now Georgetown will take a timeout looking for that last score before the half.
Yeah.
Rory Oakley, Georgetown class of 1980.
So right now, put yourself in the huddle for Georgetown. What are you looking to do?
Jeez, I'm really tempted to put Bundy back on the field again. Put him out here on this wing. Let him set a little pick for him low. Let him dodge up top. 7 for 9 in the second quarter, Jeremy, to give the Hoyas a lot more possessions than they had in the first quarter. Let's see what happens here in the second half.
Helped kind of turn the tide back to Georgetown. Made this one a little more like we expected. Obviously a solid up-and-coming Fairfield program, but Georgetown team that should win this game, and a face-off win there by Milburn.
Yep. Just did a straight clamp right there. Got it out to the wing to, for himself. Picked it up. He looks like he's got good wheels, too. He gets out of trouble easily.
So Hoyas with that top group out there on the offensive end. Bundy coming on with Bucci and McDermott, Caraway, Watson and Clark. Shot, score. McDermott, second of the game.
Just a split dodge up top. He rolled to his right, came back to his left hand. Got that shot away. He's got a great on-the-run shot. That's one of the qualities you look for in a midfielder, Jeremy. Can he dodge from up top, get his hands free, and then rip it? Great shot for Dylan.
You got to like the goal-scoring music as they play New York State of Mind. What? I forget the name of it. It's the one I know. It's
Is it Alicia Keys?
It's Alicia Keys and Jay-Z, but I can't remember the name of the song. Good
I don't
grief.
believe that I actually knew that. So
Look at you.
I know. If it was in the 70s or 80s, you got me. So.
Old dog, new tricks. How about that?
Any new wave group, I got you. So.
4-goal lead for the Wiz. Looking to add on is Milburn with another face-off win. Gets rid of it before the double comes, but Clark can't look it into the stick.
I think Robert was ready to go dodge there before he actually secured the ball on his stick. But again, Milburn, a great face-off.
Unexpected mistake. Here comes the check by Caraway. On the goalie, can he get the goal? He'll not be able to pick it up in time to get it to another player to get the empty net goal, but able to take it away from Corasaniti. Really savvy play there.
Yeah, really smart. And then Jake just out-hustles everyone to get the ground ball.
Caraway passes out of the double. Clark maybe looking for some redemption. Gets through, gets it into the back of the net. There it is. After the turnover, his line mate gets it back, and Clark takes advantage for his second of the contest.
Yeah, Robert got matched up there with a short stick D midi, Jeremy, and that's just a mismatch. Robert backed it in, showed the stick, pulled it back, rolled by the guy for an easy shot.
You know, lacrosse players, I love the fact that after it's like hockey, after they score a goal, they always go hug each other, but felt like that hug was a little extra special because Clark would never said, "Thank you, buddy, for bailing me out on that one."
Yeah. His leadership is going to be really important this year, Jeremy, when you have such a number of young players on this Hoya roster, not just the freshmen, but the sophomores too, that are going to play a key role as this season continues.
So switch up at the face-off dot, but same results as Freet took the face-off against the freshman Milburn, but couldn't beat him. So Hoy is trying to build on that goal, but Thompson can't look it in. So another turnover on the Hoyas. Fairfield trying to take advantage.
Fairfield be probably wise right here to get their offensive guys on the field, what they're doing right now. They need a good possession, Jeremy, and they need a goal. 2 first goals of the quarter right away by the Hoyas. They need to answer now.
This is Stroud, has 1 goal so far today. Guarded closely by Godin. Plenty of time, 50 seconds on the shot clock, so Fairfield can afford to take their time here. Shot wide of the cage. Stays 43 seconds of the shot clock. This is the man, Beckwith. It's just 1 goal today and then throws it away. Gibson Smith, heck of a defensive play.
Yeah, I think he'd like to have that one back. He threw off his back foot, crossed the crease. Great play by Gibson Smith right there on the interception.
Caraway airmails on the shot, but they'll get it back with Clark in the backup. Gibson Smith, preseason Big East Defensive Player of the Year. He's come on campus here on the Hilltop and has been great ever since he stepped into the lineup. Monroe out there now wearing number 41, transfer from North Carolina. Now Thompson. Pass off, shot, score. Dylan Watson, number 5 today.
You remember how Jake Caraway early in his career, we talked about what a great shooter he was from that position on the left side of the goal. Well, looks like Dylan Watson has said, hey, this side's mine right now. I mean, he steps down. That's a pinpoint shot, Jeremy. You couldn't have put it, if you walked up and handed it right there, you couldn't have done it any better. Great shot by Watson. What a great start for the sophomore, huh? 5 goals today.
You had 6 against Lafayette, 8 coming in. And right now, a great start to the second half as Georgetown 3-0 in the third quarter. They've extended this lead out to 6. Now violation on Fairfield as Freet again loses the faceoff.
You know, when you're starting to lose faceoffs like that, Jeremy, the anticipation sometimes gets the best of a fake of a Fogo, and you just jumped the gun right there. You know, you've been getting beat regularly. You got to try something different.
And we go back, and again, there was the change up by Georgetown, but there was that face-off where they removed Labetti. Georgetown got a win, and almost like it kind of changed the mojo on those face-offs a bit.
Well, I'm sure Labetti's going to get back in. Nice save.
Of course, an 80. In the game so far, 10th save of the contest.
He's definitely seen a lot of shots today, too, so.
The Hoyas 40 shots to just 23 for Fairfield.
Wow, that's amazing. We're only in the third quarter, Jeremy, with a lot of time left to play.
And again, even more amazing, Earl, the fact that Fairfield dominated early on with the faceoff, so the Hoyas didn't have the ball that much in the first quarter.
They really did. It's kind of a different-looking Hoyas team we're seeing, Jeremy. We're really playing fast. I love that kind of lacrosse personally. It's gonna be a fun team to watch.
And credit Kevin Warren not being stuck in on a style or a scheme, kind of saying, look, these are the players we have. Let's do the best that we can with them.
That's what great coaches do, Jeremy. You adjust your offense, you adjust your defense to the players that you have.
Thrown away. Caraway dishes off to Clark. Will they take a shot? They will not. Elders take it back out.
Chilikazi right there sitting on the crease wide open, Jeremy, just begging for the ball.
And I think on that overthrown pass, if Caraway picked that up on the hop, they probably go down and fast break it, right?
Yep. And Jake took it and kind of went right down the middle, and that's where Joe was coming also. So Joe did the right thing. He goes low, either trying to pick for someone and nobody ever picked him up, so he was wide open. Feel for you, Joe.
Monroe back out. 35 on the shot clock, still plenty of time. In front, Monroe, lot of traffic, gets through it all and puts it in the back of the net. Hoya's lead grows out, now double on Fairfield, 14-7.
Hey, Jeremy, we're talking about box lacrosse at the beginning of the game, earlier in the game. There's a great example right there. He caught it with two men on him, protected his stick, rolled inside, buried the goal.
So the Hoya run continues. Now 4-0 here in the third quarter. And back to Monroe, an interesting story. I go back and check my notes. When we talked to Kevin Warren, he said that Monroe plays his summer ball in West Canada. So I thought, okay, obviously he's a Canadian kid. Well, I look and I know he's from Colorado.
Son of a coach.
Yeah, so he's gone up there, and basically it sounds like it's just gone and worked on his game by playing up there. And again, as you just said, he's obviously picked up some of the skills from that Canadian influence in the game.
Yeah, and it just, the players that leave the box game and come to the field game, they just protect their sticks so much better. I've shared this story with you before, though. Youth league coaches, though, they see these Canadian kids, they keep the stick in one hand. You know, when you're a youth league coach, you're saying, let's go right hand, let's go left hand. The Canadians don't do that. They have a primary hand that they use, and that's what they do.
We're going to take a quick pause. We'll be right back. And welcome back as Georgetown with the 14-7 lead as they've come out like a house of fire in the second half. And again, James Riley's going to come back out on the field, so his first face-off in a while as Freet remains out for Fairfield.
And cheering for Riley right here. He saw, after the first few face-offs, and there he goes, he wins.
It looks like he may have, as you said, face-off guys talk, may have kind of co-opted some of the stuff that was working for Milburn.
There's a straight clamp right there by James. He pulls it back to himself. No help on the wing from Fairfield that time. Their guy was kind of upfield, taking away the fast break. James is easy to come out with a clean face-off.
Again, we've seen That 3-on-3 face-off game that Georgetown's employed really to help take out teams like Denver, those strong face-off guys. And it's interesting, we kind of said they've transitioning back maybe to more of a, one-on-one based face-off attack. Always trying to add on to their lead. Gets picked up off his feet. Caraway looking over at the referee. I don't think I've ever seen that on the lacrosse field before.
Yeah, there was no, what are you going to call there? You could have called a hold possibly, but.
Looked like that form tackle where you go up through the guy and lift and pull your arms up in the football field. Clark, no angle, jumping shot off the goaltender. Shot, and that one goes in, and that's a little old school Jake Caraway.
That's from 12 to 15 yards away, Jeremy. He has such speed on his shots and placement.
So the hat trick for Caraway. Another multi-goal game. 4 goals versus Lafayette, 4 versus UMBC. Got 3 today with plenty of time left to go.
And for Fairfield, number 45, Frankie Labetti.
It's funny, Earl, body language is always a big thing. You look, so much hype and energy on the Fairfield side, and now the Hoyas have kind of taken that out of them. Some heads starting to droop a bit.
Yeah. Great job.
Right down Broadway, and that one ends up in the back of the net. Will Godine, the freshman, puts it away and grows the lead again.
Alex Mazzone, ground ball right there, finds Will as his trailer, gets the assist. Mazzone with 1-1 on the day. 1 goal, 1 assist. He's a dangerous guy on that pole in the long stick mini.
Again, Georgetown just coming out and methodically putting this one not out of reach yet, because this is the game of lacrosse and anything can happen. But boy, they got to feel a lot better than they did when this game was a 1-goal game and Fairfield had a lead in the first half.
And they were dominating at the face-off dot, and now that's not the case anymore.
Betty's back out there, and that'll be a violation on Georgetown. So the Stags will go to work trying to cut down this deficit. Still 8 minutes to go in the third quarter, so a lot of time left. But Fairfield's got to get humping.
I think one of the side stories of the game, too, is Donaldson, the freshman, his work on 22. He's just done a great job right now covering Beckwith.
So running behind the cage, Bryce Ford against Geddes. Shot, beats McElroy, and that's maybe the start of something for Fairfield. They end the Georgetown run, and a goal making it 16-8.
Yeah, I think there was some kind of a communication problem right there, Jeremy, for the Hoyas, because he did go behind. He drags the short stick midi behind, but then no one sloughed down to be that slot man right there. Georgetown, that was one of the few errors they made today defensively, but there was not a second slide coming to help out on that play. They've done that a few times today, drug the middies behind. Let's see if they continue to do that. They found something that works. Georgetown's not going to be fooled again, though, with that slide.
And a nice win back to Milburn, gets it done. Here comes Mazzone. Will he take the shot? He does. It's saved. Loose ball. And they will say it's going to be an injury, and that's Watson. And he's slow to get up. I think they're going to have him come off the field.
He got crunched.
Again, Watson, 5 goals already on the day, and
it's got to come out.
Yeah.
Good decision by the ref. The ball was safely in the stick. What the referees do in that situation, Jeremy, they see a man down that's hurt. Once the ball is secured by the other team and it's in a good spot to stop the action, that's when they stop the action.
So Fairfield will go back to work here, looking for another quick goal. Help get themselves back in this game. Stroud trying to get open space wide of the cage, but Beckwith on the backup. 7 to go here in the third quarter. Hoyas doubled up Fairfield so far, 16-8.
Again, with a short stick behind the cage. playing a little two-man game right now.
Saved by McElroy.
And there you saw the slide that time by the Hoyas.
Does reset the shot clock. And now the moving screen on Beckwith.
Yeah, Dylan can't believe it. He's questioning the official right there. It looked like kind of a ticky-tack call, honestly. But now, oh, he must have said something because here comes the flag.
Shot over top of the cage as that was Caraway getting a little fancy. And looks like it might be unsportsmanlike.
Ooh.
So some frustration from Beckwith. And Andrew Baxter over there to figure out what is.
Yeah, I'm good friends with Dylan Beckwith's high school coach, John Chiffo, out of Wantagh on Long Island, and he's a fiery guy. And you get that call on you like that, you just got to let it go. A referee, sometimes referees, Jeremy, you know this as well. They'll just run away from things like that. They'll kind of ignore it, but he must have said something that kind of set off the alarm in the official's head because that flag came out right away. Maybe the F-bomb.
Shot off the pipe, and it will stay with the Hoyas as it resets the shot clock. Yeah, again, obviously he's got to be frustrated. Fairfield right in the middle of this game in the first half, and it's just gotten away from them as the Hoyas have flexed their muscle and look like the number 14 team in the nation, and this time it's McDermott. Another hat trick for the Hoyas, third of the game for Declan.
Shot goal number 1, Declan McDermott.
You got to be impressed today with our two sophomores, with Watson and with McDermott. I mean, there's two guys last year. They both saw good playing time last year. They got them in some crucial parts. They get some experience, but this year they've just they're unleashed this year. They're just going at it.
A lot of depth on this Hoya team. Kevin Warren's got the coat off on the sidelines on a knee.
We were kidding him before the game that, come on, Kevin's going to be a beautiful day. He's got his winter parka on, but it's a lot colder up here in the press box.
And no one even on that penalty, so that ended up working very well as he scooped out to the unguarded wing. So Hoyas, again, it doesn't release on the unsportsmanlike, so they got another 20 seconds of man up. Can they make it hurt again? Watson back out there. After being slow to get up a couple minutes ago.
Great
on
look.
the doorstep, and a nice save by Corsiniti. Picked up by McDermott. Now the penalty is released, so Fairfield back to even strength. Caraway over the top of the goal. Monroe on the backup. I'm actually going to say that went off someone. Say Corsiniti got a piece of it as they reset the shot clock.
That was his best save of the day right there, Jeremy. Had Caraway right on the doorstep. Totally great position by him to stop a potential goal.
Here's Monroe. In front, Bucci for a goal. Monroe to Bucci. And the lead grows again, now up to 10 goals, 18-8, as Massimo Bucci, his second goal of the season.
Great sharing right there by Bucci and Monroe. They look like, even though this is their first year together, it looks like they've played together.
Monroe, now at Colorado.
The assist to number 41,
2 seasons at North Carolina. And talking to Coach Warren, he said that he's got a extremely high IQ when it comes to the game of lacrosse. The coach's son just has a passion for lacrosse. Like anytime you're passionate about something, you'll usually be pretty good at it. And Monroe, a definite nice piece for the Hoyas to add. Shots and saved by McElroy. And then on the rebound, ends up in, and I believe that'll be Labetti.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a talent for him. Labetti, last year with 3 goals. It was actually a record for The Stags Fogo goals on the season.
His initial shot off the break was stopped by Owen. Ball kind of trickled back to him for kind of an easy shot.
Taking the face off for Georgetown, number 33, James Riley.
So Riley back out there against Lebetti, at the dot. And Riley able to get this one clean. Geddes. Pull it out. Now the Hoyas will get a few. Their second line guys in is Sean O'Keefe coming in, the senior out of California. Bundy, along with Thompson.
Yeah, great chance to get some fresh legs in the game, especially at midfield.
Here's Bundy, wide of the cage. And Caraway's there in the backup, so it stays the Hoyas. 4:04 left to go in the third. Here comes Jake. Thompson. Nice spin, shot, score. Goes top shelf. And Peter Thompson, his third of the season, makes it 19-9.
Now he just rolled right, came back with that left hand, Jeremy. Underhand shot, he goes low to high. Tough for that goalie to pick up. I always think, and you and I have been doing these games for 5 years now, that sun gets tough at a noontime game this time of day. So I'm not giving the goalie an excuse there. That was a heck of a shot by Peter, but great to see some other guys get on the scoreboard for the Hoyas too.
Yeah, the way this field is aligned, it can be some tough issues. We've talked about it. Lacrosse, it's more of the sun. I think we've talked about this a little bit during football season. It becomes a completely different issue, a different time of game. But because of so many buildings, it almost has a wind tunnel effect where certain spots you can get more wind than others. And it's an interesting spot here at Cooper Field, and again, going to get a lot better.
You and I just can't wait. We're looking over at that new press box over there.
It's going to be a really nice boon. In the last 10 years at Georgetown, boy, have they done some improvements when it comes to their athletic program. Got to
such a beautiful campus.
Credit Lee Reed in the athletic department, Thompson Center. Again, all the coaches rave about everything they've gotten out of that. Shot, McElroy goes off of him and ends up out of play and stays with Fairfield. And then Cooper Field's going to have some amenities. Talking to some of the training staff, they're really happy. Going to be a lot more space for them to do their work and keep these guys healthy. And McElroy with the save. And you know that as an old coach, anything can be an advantage when it comes to recruiting and getting quality guys in.
Well, just the location, the great history of this school, the history of this program. And now with a state-of-the-art facility, this is going to be very tempting for the student athlete to want to come here.
Of course, talking about Cooper Field, Peter Cooper's donation. Again, not only this, but the leadership program he's helping sponsor, which again, it's going to be such an academic school here at Georgetown, such a big deal. And really another enticement to get guys here on the hilltop.
You know, and Coach Warren, after, weathering the storm, having a few tough years, has got this program now. As we said, they're going to be a perennial top 20 team and better every year.
And push on Georgetown, so resets the shot clock. Fairfield will have it. Yeah, this, you almost feel as well, not only the good seasons the last 2 years, but the somewhat upset wins over Denver in the Big East Championship. And it'll be McElroy winning the race and getting the possession for the Hoyas.
Great job by Owen.
McElroy's got to be careful.
Oh, great look.
Caraway in front, and it will be a goal. Hoyas doing what they want right now. Watson, number 6 on the day.
Was that Bundy with that crossfield look? I think it was. But they had a press ride on. Fairfield had a press ride. They kind of had him cornered right here by the box. He looks all the way across field, down the alley, finds Caraway wide open.
Yeah, Bundy getting the adulation from his coaching staff and his teammates. So, again,
lacrosse IQ, Jeremy. You know, you always want to look over and across the field. Because when they're sliding to you, somebody's open, and that person's the person furthest away from the ball. But Graham had the the IQ to say, hey, that's where the open guy is, and he threw a perfect pass.
And I think the old quote from Larry Munson, the old Georgia announcer about Herschel Walker, is appropriate there. Just a freshman.
Yeah, really. He's exciting.
I think it might have been my God, a freshman, but, we'll leave that out.
Okay.
Pass in front. Great Larry Munson. I can't imagine him calling lacrosse. Would have been interesting, I'm sure.
I tell you, I had the displeasure of listening to a game last night between my son's South Carolina team and Florida State with some guys announcing the game that I don't think ever saw a lacrosse game in their lives
that's
before.
Tough one.
Yeah. They kept calling their sticks their baskets. The ball's in the basket. I thought maybe we were listening to a basketball game there for a while. It just, hey, but God bless them. They were trying.
Hey, any lacrosse on TV is good lacrosse.
You're not kidding, especially at a club level where a lot of the games get streamed, and any chance is always a good thing. Oh,
a chance there and a put away. Nice play by Bryce Ford, second of the game. And cut that lead down to 10 as the Hoyas letting Ford get loose.
They've had some success again today, isolating their. That's something I'm sure Coach Warren they're going to work on this week. Is isolating their middies behind their short six, finding that Dean midi matchup.
So 20.3 to go here in the quarter.
Senior year, and I know as a parent, I know as mom and dad, I know that it hurts. But I shared a tweet with or a text with Kevin the other night, just saying sometimes bad things happen to good people, and that I know he'll work hard to get his knee back in shape. And you go through a high school career where played both sports, football and lacrosse, and didn't have any injury or very few injuries as I remember. But he's such a great kid. I know he's a great student athlete too, and that's also part of it too. You're a student here. He's going to walk out of here with a great degree in a year.
And that's the one thing for Georgetown. Talking to Kevin Warren, he said, of the guys who are expected to play or play major minutes, Petrillo is one of the few guys that's not there. They're pretty much healthy, the rest of the team. So very important. Health always a key. And now here come the Hoyas again off another face-off win by Milburn. Almost throw it away, but Watson ends up corralling it. Will he go for another goal? He's got 6 so far today. 6 for Watson, 3 for Caraway, 3 for McDermott, 2 for Clark. As for Fairfield on the day, Bryce Ford, Brian Arita, each with 2, while Beckwith has been held in check. Only 1 goal today, and you got to credit the freshman James Donaldson. He's seen a lot of time on that standout for Fairfield.
When you have a freshman coming in and starting over some of the guys who were here, this kid must be a talent. And playing one of the best attackmen in this conference and really limiting his chances today.
And just picked up another ground ball off that shot by Watson that ended up heading all the way back out to midfield. O'Keefe loses it on the move, able to get it back. Now loses it again. Elbow action from Timon. And Fairfield we're going to cut into this 10-goal deficit. We mentioned before, upcoming schedule for the Hoyas. Next 2 games will be here in D.C. as well. Mount St. Mary's on Tuesday, 3 o'clock start. Bellarmine will be on Saturday, a noon start there. So again, we'll see the Hoyas as they look to get this season off to a good start. Then there'll be 3 straight road games after that. Towson, North Carolina on the road in Chapel Hill, and then it'll be against Marquette to start off the Big East campaign, of course, looking for a little payback after losing to Marquette last year. They've really struggled with the Golden Eagles the last few campaigns. Of course, Marquette under new coaching as Joe Amplo leaving Marquette to go to Navy.
Yeah, we hope the Navy guys are feeling better. They got a neurovirus or something that they picked up after the Richmond game, and 30-plus people, members of the team and staff, sick. So, oh, wow.
Clark able to put it away. That's his third of the game, so another hat trick for the Hoyas. Robert Clark, his 7th goal this season, and the Hoyas lead grows again.
He has great fake right there. He looks at Dylan Watson, gives him the head and shoulder fake. Goalie totally bought it. Robert held on to it and buried it himself.
So a couple moves now. Jack Stevenson, the senior goalie out of Greenwich, Connecticut, comes in. And so we'll replace Owen McElroy after a nice day for Owen. 10 goals against, 14 saves, 58% on the day for McElroy.
And I like that too. All his teammates right there to greet him as he comes off the field. You know, Owen's going to be a key to our success down the road here, Jeremy, and how far the Hoyas go this year. He, as you said, last year he starts off as the starter, then gets replaced. But attitude never changed. Coach said he just kept working, kept getting better.
Caraway avoids the check from behind. Pass in front, score. That's number 7 for Dylan Watson.
Georgetown goal by number 45, Dylan Watson. The assist to number 19.
Have yourself a day.
Yes, love that saying, Jeremy, and he's exactly what he's doing too.
Watson played at the Hill Academy under former Georgetown standout Brody Merrill.
Coming in right now for the Hoyas, Connor Huminston. I had the pleasure of coaching Connor 2 years ago in the Under Armour command team out of Georgetown Prep. He is a great kid. He's a heck of a player, too. I believe he played football at Georgetown Prep also. He's a big guy. He goes about 6'1 or 6'2 and over 2 bills. But he's a really great kid. I didn't get a chance to see him before the game, but they called him Hummy. So glad to see him get some action today.
Humiston wearing 21. Also out there right now for the Hoyas, Brandon Moe wearing number 31. They've emptied the bench. Nico Geekus in wearing number 14. Sean O'Keefe, he's got it now. And also making his way in, Jack Kelly, number 26. Cade McLeod now has it. Pass in front. Couldn't find the stick of Humiston. Starting defensive group in. Smith with another ground ball.
It's a flag down too.
Looks like this is going to go on the whole. No. It's going to be a slash on Fairfield. Actually, it'll be on Beckwith. Frustrating day continues for Beckwith. Had the unsportsmanlike earlier for something he said to a ref. Now gets called for the slash. But an interesting story I wanted to tell about him. His high school and the number 22.
Number 22, there was a player, I believe, that Coach Tiffo shared with me that passed away, and then all the players that go on now honor this young man by wearing that number 22, and there's numerous players around the country right now on different programs that are wearing that number 22, and a great honor that Coach Tiffo bestows on his players, and I think it's a wonderful thing and an honor that some of these guys get to wear that number.
Yeah, Wantagh High School. Nice way to honor, and again another goal. Connor Humiston puts it away, his first of the season, 2nd point, and the Hoyas are rolling now with 23 on the board.
All right, Hummy, great for him. You know, he showed a lot of patience right there too. Jeremy, he catches the ball, he doesn't shoot it right away, he waits, proves his angle a little bit, gives the goalie a fake, and buries it.
I'm going to tell you, at this point, Earl, we are seeing, again, Fairfield, we know where they're projected to be in the CAA, but the Hoyas right now, I mean, it's almost the old expression in football is on air. You know, when you don't have any guys guarding you or blocking against you or trying to go, you know, it's on air. That's kind of what it looks like right now. They're getting whatever they want.
Yeah. And, if you're, and Coach Warren, Coach Baxter are good friends. He's not going to try to run the score up or anything, but there's still a lot of time in the game, and you're going to put new guys in, Jeremy. Let them play. It does get to a point. Coach Tierney always had this thing when he was at Princeton that 19 goals was the limit, and they saved by Jack.
And pretty much now, Kevin Warren's entire team is backups out there. And looking, no one really, no starters out. And I go wide of the cage and will stay. I think really the only person that even sees regular time on the field was Elders, and he's coming off now.
Take great play right down there after Jack made the save with Connor O'Reilly, a freshman defenseman right there. Comes up with the ground ball, does a little shovel pass. Great play by Connor.
And this will be the second game for the Hoyas this year where they've been able to go deep into the bench. The opener against Lafayette won that one 17-3, so we're able to play a lot of guys in that game. So 2 of the first 3, they've really got the whole roster involved, which is a good thing.
It's a great thing. Keeps everybody happy. It makes that chemistry, and it makes, the guys that's the last guy on the bench, he might not get a lot of PT. He might be scout team during the week. But, man, he gets in and gets, has the opportunity to contribute. It just makes the whole team feel great. The starters know how hard those guys work. And without all the fanfare,
Previous shot by Gavin Garrity Rokas. So Fairfield. They mix some of their guys in as well. But also a few folks that see a lot of time out there. Coming on now, Travis Ford, he's got a goal today. Number 12, Taylor Stroud also with a goal. This is Bryce Ford, he's got 2. Trying to find a friendly, good defense by Chris Glenn. Down to the top, Travis Ford. Hoy is staying with their man, down to 15 seconds on the shot clock. Loose ball.
It's a great defense by Gavin Lindsay right there.
And the wrap off the side of the cage. It resets the shot clock. And they'll say that's Georgetown ball despite the dives from Fairfield. O'Keefe has got to watch the sideline, almost steps on it, but does not.
Oh, great swim move. Finish it.
O'Keefe shoots and knocked aside by Corsiniti. I was going to say just a bounce.
Sean wanted that, didn't he? He ran through a couple guys right there. Came right down Broadway. Just bounced it a little bit higher over the cage.
Mo sends it out. McLeod, not related to Stephen McLeod. One from San Francisco, one's from Roswell, Georgia. Of course, we have to always mention Stephen McLeod. He's a defender, so we don't get a chance to mention him as much as we like. But
that's right.
One of the reasons we love to mention him is because his club team was the Alcatraz Outlaws.
I had the chance to play against them a few years ago. Very talented team. Oh, wow.
Chance in front, almost put away by Kelly. And Kelly, not the tallest of players, able to reach up and get it and get a shot off. Try to get it back to him and ends up in the stick of number 32, Donald Macaluso. And it's tough to get a cooler club name than the Alcatraz Outlaws.
You're exactly right.
Can't remember. There's an old movie. A couple famous guys in it. And I think they show Alcatraz. I mean, it might have been Alcatraz. I'm not sure what it was supposed to be. And it's in the middle of a prison. There's actually a big area there in the middle. That one is saved by Stevenson. Almost big enough you could play a lacrosse game in there.
Yeah.
I do remember. I can't remember what movie it is. We'll have to look that up. That'll be on our next broadcast.
Could have been Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood, no?
No.
A Birdman of Alcatraz.
I do remember Carol O'Connor was in it.
Oh, boy.
He was one of the baddies in it, so. That's some research. of the other things I have to do in addition to this.
It's like we're going to switch goalies too.
So Stevenson coming out on the other end of the field.
New goalie for Georgetown, number
Turnover by Georgetown.
Freshman Noah Klein in the game, in the cage for the Hoyas.
Yep. Klein, the freshman from Stevenson, Maryland. Seen time against Lafayette. 12.87 goals against average. Actually, this is going to stay with Georgetown. Excuse me, folks. Six minutes to go. Hoyas with a comfortable 23-10 lead. Thrown away behind, so Hoyas will keep it.
You know, and Coach Baxter, obviously, you're not going to be excited about the results of this game, but his kids for a quarter and a half played very hard, and they've played hard the whole game, but they stayed right with, you know, a top program. And what he's trying to build here, he's doing some really good things. His kids are excited.
It's the first time Georgetown has scored 23 goals since actually last year. Had 23 against NJIT and a 23-7 win. So it has happened recently. And of course, NJIT no longer on the Georgetown schedule.
Penalty on Fairfield, number 2.
Are they members of this division too? Are they in the?
I think NJIT still is independent, I think.
Okay.
But I could be wrong about that. Because there's so many schools, as we know, that kind of the affiliate members and.
Yeah, because different sports. Yeah,
There's a shot, and that's a goal. Georgetown on the board again as Jack Howe puts it away and makes it 24.
Georgetown goal by number 18.
Is that Jack's first goal of his career? I think so.
I believe so, yes. So huge day for Georgetown continues.
For Fairfield, number 16, Max McGuire.
As Howe puts it away, makes it 24-10.
Kind of thought they might have changed their goalie a little bit earlier than this, but
Have swapped out goalies. Looks like that's Max McGuire. Stags have a lot of goalies on the roster. And they run with 5. Next up for Fairfield will be home matchup against Quinnipiac and Long Island. That's the combined former LIU Brooklyn and I believe LIU Post came together, kind of rebranded in the Division One. A couple matchups on the road at Harvard and at Siena. And they will take on Providence as well. Shot, that's a score. Hoyas again on the board. This time Zach Pacheco on the board, and the Hoyas again adding on to their total. They've got 25.
go freshman Zach. Reading a little history about him, that his dad was a Major League Baseball player, I think. I think I read that in his bio. His dad played college baseball at University of Miami, I believe, and then he spent a couple years, I want to say, with St. Louis.
Okay.
But interesting that he switched over and played lacrosse after coming from, I kind of know that feeling. I came from a baseball family too, and my dad never complained once that I picked up a stick. You know? He thought it was a great game.
And it's funny, he's from Georgia, so as we talked about it before, Hoyas have done a really good job of, as we have a timeout on the field, excuse me, not a timeout on the field, just going to switch some folks up with substitutions.
Penalty, yeah.
Saw the penalty go down, but I saw half the Fairfield team come over, so they may be talking something over.
This is when it gets confusing sometimes, Jeremy, because you have to know who your backup man down team is. And sometimes you just send the first guys back in again, but sometimes you do have a second unit, and we do have a second unit with the exception, I think Gavin Lindsay might still be the short stick out there, or is he?
That looks like a completely different
that's
group.
Chris Glenn. Okay. And that's good.
Chris Walker out there, number 20. Beckwith out there. So it looks like Fairfield puts their first team out.
And you want to do that, Jeremy, no matter what the score is here, because they need to practice. They need to see live fire.
Shot and a score, so a little momentum for Fairfield late in the game as Travis Ford with his second of the day.
And that's exactly why you do it. Exactly why you keep your number one unit out there and let them play it. You can practice all you want against your team, and you're usually practicing not against sometimes your first team man down, but maybe your second team man down. And extra man is all about, chemistry. So good, good for them right there to keep their extra man unit and get a nice goal.
Yeah, I know you as an old high school coach and appreciate. I remember one of my pet peeves was always where you'd see teams, and especially in basketball, that would press all the time, and they would keep pressing the entire game when they might be up by 30, and you'd say, well, why don't you use that time maybe to run some half-court offense or work on some things against, as you said, a team who doesn't know all of your things you do.
It. Yeah, exactly.
That's the beauty of it. Again, as you said, against the scout team, they kind of know what's coming.
Yeah.
And they're only going to throw a certain amount of looks at you, so it's definitely a good learning experience, and Fairfield able to get something out of it, including a goal.
Sometimes, too, your extra man team, you're playing against your number one man down. They learn your plays
Yep.
after a while, and they don't play to the action. They play to the play.
Sure.
And it doesn't help anybody. That would, as a high school coach, that frustrated me so much because the guy would go, it's going to him next.
So of course, well, you know that.
Yeah, so that's why you have to have a backup team that doesn't always know what's going.
Either that or you need the old Men in Black thing that you wipe their memory away with. just the plays. Just forget about the playbook for now.
Exactly.
2.5 to go. Hoyas with a good start to their home schedule here at Cooper Field. They're going to come away with a emphatic win over Fairfield, up 25-11.
Not much turnaround time, too, Jeremy. They'll probably have a light go tomorrow, maybe, and then practice Monday, and then we're right back here Tuesday afternoon against the Mount.
Yep. Well, St. Mary's giving the Hoyas some trouble the last few years, but now has turned it over and back over to Fairfield. Could be the final possession of the game for the Stags. And Klein in net for the Hoyas. Third netminder of the day for Georgetown. Kevin Warren clearing out the bench. His team, his guys off their feet for that matchup against Mount St. Mary's on Tuesday. Another goal for Fairfield. This time, Max Paparosi is first and makes it 25-12.
Fairfield goal by number 13, Max Paparosi.
Paparosi.
Number 29, Carson Gilbert.
Now 1:22 to go.
For Fairfield, number 9, Bill McMenamin.
And for a second, and now taken back by Georgetown. Walker, little stick work, and eventually picked up by the Hoyas. It's Kate Heverly out there.
Yeah. getting a little face-off time today, too.
The Hoyas will move it around a little bit. We'll see if they even go towards net. Full complement of backups out there.
Yeah, this is where you just turn the wheel, as they call it. Just kind of get a big circle going, look for the double team, keep moving the ball. I mean, to Fairfield's credit, they're still pressing out, trying to double right here.
Now Mo with it. Down to 10 seconds. And that'll do it as Georgetown, impressive in their first outing at home as they beat Fairfield 25-12. We look at your leading scorers in this contest. Dylan Watson, 7 goals in the game. Jake Caraway, Robert Clark, and Declan McDermott each with 3 for Fairfield. Ford, and Rita. Travis and Bryce with 2. Also, Brian Rita with 2 goals as well. Owen McElroy gets the win. 14 saves on the day, 58% on saves. Earl, final thought from this one.
I tried to do some quick math there, Jeremy. I think I see 13 different guys on the scoreboard today for the Hoyas. You know, that attack unit, they're clicking. You know, Caraway is tough to spot, is tough to stop one-on-one. Robert Clark, again,